Hello and welcome back. Today's topic we will be talking about is equality. So our essential questions for today: what is equality? What are some examples of equality and inequality? And then again, how did some of those specific historical figures and documents shape the Founding Fathers' ideas of equality? And our standards for today are 5.1 CC. Our objectives, you're going to be able to define equality and give examples that we have today. You will be able to describe how equality was a pushing factor for colonization, and you will also evaluate inequalities around the world and apply them to your lives today. So, we've been talking about what is civics. And we said that civics is the study of citizenship and the study of government. Two key aspects to our government that we've already talked about are liberty and justice. And the third key aspect to our government that we will talk about today is equality. So, what is equality? Equality is when everyone gets the same treatment regardless of where they're from, what their race is, what they believe in terms of religion, whether they're a male, female, or transgender, or even the type of wealth that they have. So let's talk about some examples of equality and inequality. So you should be asking yourselves, is this equal? So first, Linda lives in a neighborhood with two schools. School A is 1 mile away, and School B is 10 miles away. Because Linda is African American, she has to attend School B while all of her neighbors attend School A. We would say that this is not equality because Linda does not have the opportunity to choose to decide School A or School B. So it is unequal for her. Let's do another example. Let's say that Tom and Larry are longtime friends. They have identical grades from high school, and so they decide that they're going to apply for the same job. While they're in their interview, Tom explains to the boss that he might not be able to work Saturdays because it's a religious day in the Jewish faith, and he is Jewish. As a result, Tom doesn't get the job, but Larry does. Now, this is another example of inequality because Tom is being treated differently than Larry because of his religion. Let's do a few more examples. Let's say that same girl, Linda, lives in a neighborhood with those two schools, School A still being 1 mile away, and School B being 10 miles away. If Linda had the ability to attend either school because the schools were identical, then we would consider that equality. Now let's talk about Tom and Larry again. Okay, so we know that they have identical grades from high school. We know that they're applying for the same job. In the interview, we know that Tom says he can't work Saturdays because of the Jewish faith, and that's a holy day. Well, the interviewer says in that interview that it doesn't matter what his religion is, and it doesn't matter if Saturdays are a holy day. It won't affect his chances of getting the job. In this case, we are seeing that it is equal. He is not being treated differently because of his religion. So sometimes we like to say that equality was a very good advertisement for people to come to America. Or in other words, it was the promise of equality or being equal regardless of origin, race, religion, or wealth that brought millions of immigrants from all over the world to the United States starting as early as the 1600s. So let's look at some examples. The Pilgrims and the Mayflower. Now, the main reason they wanted to come here to the United States was to escape religious persecution. Or in other words, people in Europe did not like the fact that they believed in something different, and they were mistreated because of that. So they decided to come here where they could be treated equally. Another example, Europeans. Europeans came to America to escape difficult conditions like famine, meaning there's not enough food, land shortages, meaning you don't have enough places to grow your food or for your family to live, as well as religious and political persecution. So they came to America to look for some equal opportunities for religious and political freedoms. And last but not least, Asian and Pacific Islanders, they wanted to come to America to escape poor economies, lack of work, and inequality. So they wanted to come here to find freedom and equality in being able to find work and being able to afford certain goods or being able to make money. So the reason why these immigrants came to America, guys, for freedom and for equality. So our objectives from today, you should be able to define equality and give examples that we have today. You should be able to describe how equality was a pushing factor for colonization. And in our next activity, you're actually going to be evaluating inequalities around the world and applying them to your own lives today. So go ahead, move on to our next activity, and then you can move on to our next topic.